Hey everybody, it's John here again, and today I have here the Masters of the Universe Classics Evil-Lyn. This is the version that's based directly off the 80s toy. I just picked her up recently. Since we're going to be getting the Filmation version of her pretty soon, I figured I might as well get the original classic one as well. And she is in the standard packaging that they've all came in. This is from 2009. When the line was first getting started. Seems crazy how long it's come along. The back of the package here shows off some of the other figures you have. I have all of them on the back of there this time, which is nice. And here is a quick look at the bio that they gave her. If you want to read that, you can go ahead and pause. I believe that's Screech, right, that she comes with. I do have the other Evil-Lyn. I picked that one up first just because she looks more like what she did in the cartoon and what I was familiar with. I did not have an Evil-Lyn when I was a kid. I know they didn't make a whole lot of female characters back then because they didn't think boys would want to play with girls. But, I mean, nowadays we know that's wrong and that we just like figures in general. But if you give me a second here, I'll get her outside of the package and we will take a closer look. Alright, and here we have Evil-Lyn outside of her package. And right off the bat, again, as I'm finding with the older Masters Universe Classics figures, they do just have, I don't know, a lot more production to them than the more recent ones that we've been getting. Her face sculpt is fantastic. And it don't get that much cleaner. Yeah, focus, there it is. Very nicely done. Good cheekbones. Nice work on the eyes. The eyeliner's great. She looks almost like Maleficent in her face work. The details on the helmet with the skull are fantastic. She does have a little blemish on her chin. And you can see the detail that they put into her armor piece here is really nice with the detailing that goes all the way through. The like little feathered pieces, the blue highlights on the darker blue look really nice. There is tonal changes in her skin. I do like the yellow jaundice look of her, it's really cool. She does have some silver paintwork on her bracers and her wrist pieces. Her nails are painted. And then there's not a whole lot of detail going down through the legs. And you have her boots. Nice fur trim. And a little bit of black paint on the darker blue. So overall, she's a very nice looking figure, and I'm glad to be adding her to my collection here. And a little bit more of her background story, if you don't know, is she eventually falls in love with Keldor, who then becomes Skeletor later on in the series, and he loses all of his emotions when he becomes Skeletor, so he doesn't really have any need for Evil-Lyn other than her power, which then she eventually turns on him by releasing King Hiss and the Snake Men, and also bringing Hordak back to the realm of Eternia. But other than that, she's a very fantastic figure. She does come with a few accessories. She comes with this nice little knife. It has a cool little skull head on the handle, and it's kind of got a pearlescent shine to it as well, which fits nicely in her hand. Like so. Speaking of her hand, maybe we should go over her basic articulation. Her head does go around and up and down. It's not really at all bothered by her collar, but it doesn't go back too far. She does have the hinged shoulders that go around as well as up and down. She does have a bend at the elbow, and her wrists rotate. She does not have the hinge, which are in the more modern ones. does have a bit of a waist movement, but it's hindered by her top, or by her clothing that she has on. See, she does have quite the wide hip movement, and they do go forward and back quite a bit without having any problems from her skirt piece. They do have a bit of rotation at the top of the hip as well. And she does have a single bend at the knee. And she does have the boot rotation, which is nice to see. And her ankles go forward and back. And they are on a nice little rocker hinge. And her other accessory is she does come with this short staff, which can fit in her hand, or she does come with an extender. This is, I believe, more like the original. It just fit in her hand and didn't touch the ground. Or you can add the extension to it by gently working the peg out. Like so. Oh, I can see it was originally red. Weird. And then that'll just pop onto there. And then you have the full-length staff, if that's what you want to go with. Let's see if I can wiggle it back out. Very good. Nice and easy. I think since the original had the short staff, I'll keep the short staff in her hand as well. And then she comes with this little stand, and of course Screech, which is nicely detailed. He does have some articulation in his wings, and his little feet here rotate. He has on the bird armor, which you can slide off like that, and then you just have your bird. And he should stand on his perch here. Nice and easy. I do have the original. Screech right here. Let's move you back for a second. As you can see, this is the large version. Pretty much the same paint details. A little bit of orange on the tail feathers. So they did a great job of recreating this little guy. A little bit more detail on his featherings on the little one. His armor does come off as well, and if you bounced him up and down, the wings would flap quite nicely. And I believe he has a trigger. Yep, triggers that do it. I always liked these a lot when I was a kid. I might have to someday see if I can find a Zor. If they're fun just to fly around with and attack your other heroes. And it does have a stand. I can't find the bottom peg for it, but he grips it just the same, so you know, they did a great representation of him in the Classics line. Now, like I said, I do have the other Evil-Lyn. And here she is. We can compare them. She does have the same piece of armor on, just painted different. The faces are the same, but they're painted differently as well. She's got a much more thin eyeliner on. And she does have a cape. And she does have a glow-in-the-dark orb on the end of her staff, which I really like. I'm a sucker for glow-in-the-dark stuff. But as you can see, they're pretty much the same, but just a little bit of a paint completely changes them. Again, she's very well done. Probably one of my favorites of the females in the line is definitely Evil-Lyn. So if you get a chance to pick her up, I would try and find her if you're a collector of the Masters of the Universe figures. She's definitely way sold out off the Matty Collector website, which again is coming to an end at the end of this year. So you would have to find her maybe at a convention or an aftermarket, but man, the Evil-Lyn is by far one of my favorites from the Classics line, especially from the early years. So again, this has been John. Thanks for checking out this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up if you can, and maybe subscribe for more, and I'll see you around later.